I'm right in the middle of an action sequence, but I wanted to reflect. It's been 22 years since we started this saga. I'm grateful that everybody that comes to be a part of the franchise wants to give their all.
The cars, the sound, the songs, the attitude, and frankly, the friendship, it's the sum of everything I've loved in the Fast and Furious universe.
In this Fast and Furious, Fast 10, the beginning of the end, we proved that the impossible can be possible.
I'm still trying to understand how we continue to outdo ourselves.
The team is putting everything that they've got into it.
The enormity of everything hits you like a right hand to the jaw.
And then you're like, can you make it bigger? We just made it bigger.
It is true entertainment on a massive canvas with a new villain, with new stakes, real stakes.
Fast 10. Oh!
Vin is very adamant about making sure that we tie things together. So I wasn't really surprised that there was a tie back to Fast 5.
Everybody stand by to shoot.
If you think about the franchise as a whole, like it is sort of like a Rubik's Cube of 10 refers to 5, which refers to 2, which refers to 1. It's like a puzzle, and Vin's got it all in his head.
When I first started reading the script of Fast 10, it was just kind of like Fast 5, where each and every one of the characters have this integral role of putting the pieces of this phenomenal puzzle together.
The concept was to allow these archetypes on screen to relate to the people who've been supporting us for a quarter of a century.
Everybody has their favorite Fast and Furious. I think critically, a lot of people point to 5. It was almost the Fast and Furious Avengers at the time. We were doing something that nobody really had done yet. And that was kind of bringing the greatest hits or characters from this franchise together in this amazing locale.
Just having all that history of 5 with the vault chase scene carrying over into number 10 and those relationships make it more weighty and more interesting.
This is a film so incredibly authentic to the Fast universe, maybe more authentic to the Fast universe than anyone we've done in a long time.
Here we go. Set and 3, 2, 1, action.
I mean, Fast 5 truly is my favorite Fast movie. It has everything that I love. It has the Fast universe, but also amazing physical car stunts, and it's a heist movie, and I love heist movies. So the idea of generating your villain out of the events of Fast 5 and creating a flashback and opening the movie with another point of view of the Fast 5. The only way to truly do this was to immerse ourselves back into this movie 11 years later and shoot with the same cameras, the same lenses, the same film stock. It's shot on film. We shot the rest of the movie digitally, but this was shot on film. Going to the same places, that same bridge, going back to Rio, shooting this. That was very important to us. And Joaquin came back, and it felt real. And like walking through the set with Joaquin, we're in this weird business where we get to re-experience our lives decades later. And Joaquin had truly weird deja vu of like, yeah, I was here on that set doing exactly the same thing. For me as a fan, it was like one of the greatest moments.
Camera and action.
Well, very unexpected. I was shooting in Europe, I had a ticket to go back, and I said, oh, wait a minute, I guess I'll stay in Europe a little longer. This still fits. The same outfit, the pants normally don't fit, this one's fit.
You're in fantasy.
All right, let's go.
I've watched these movies religiously, like since they came out, and I watched them again and again. I analyzed them, loved them first, and analyzed them afterwards. So I knew everything about it, inside and out. So it really helped me look at the themes. It's the end of the road. It's it's the beginning of the end. So it needs to be the total sum, and yet something completely different. We'll do one shot long length, and then we'll come in close.
I felt like there was a need to relate to everybody that's in the audience and say, we're all feeling unsure at the moment. Even Dom.
Dom this time He's worried for his family and worried for the world. The stakes are real. He's met his match. We don't know where he's going. It's strange to have an enemy who adores you.
Dominic
Has analyzed you and has learned from you for 20 years, who's trying to mimic you, and it's scary for Dom. I said Vin.
This is really an adversary that was born out of the past movies. In Fast 5, Hernan Reyes was on the bridge of Rio, where the climax of that movie happened. What you didn't see is that he had a son who was knocked off that bridge by that safe, who for 2 minutes was potentially dead, and then came back and had a new perspective on life.
And 3, 2, 1, action.
We're always looking for what we can carry over to the next movies. It's hard to create new villains. It's much better when you actually have history, and unbeknownst to Vin, he had a lot of history with Dante's character. He just didn't know it.
Odame!
Jason Momoa is somebody that I had been watching clocking.
I can't believe I'm racing the great Dom Toretto.
The character needed somebody that, at face value, one could regard his formidable stature as a worthy adversary, but also be willing to approach a character with a completely unique take that is so dynamic and grounded with a palpable pain.
You get everything from me. I hadn't played a villain in probably 10 years, and I wanted to bring something to the lineage that hadn't been done yet, and something that could face off against Dom and his family, and you had to be a certain psychotic, and you had to be playful, and he'd just been done wrong in his world. How do you choose the ones you save?
I thought that no one could top Cypher in how evil she is, how smart and cunning she is, and in comes Dante. Dante scares Cypher. She sees the devil in Dante.
They say when you're facing death, your life flashes before your eyes. Are they right?
Our first scene in the movie is the first thing that we shot, and so we didn't meet each other until we actually showed up on set, and he just came into this room with this lace detailed open shirt that was flowing, and the hair and the body and the tan. He just comes in, guns blazing. And then I catch myself, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the scene. I have to act right now. You want to kill Dom.
The first thing I pitched, I basically said I'd like to play him like this. I knew the colors I wanted. I was like, it's gonna be very pastel. And then they were like, we love it, we love it, we love it. And then once they said that they would let me do that, then I was like, I'm in, 100%. We go black, we go silver, double, just smash in someone's face. I'm very particular with props and wardrobe because that's the part about building a character, right?
The guy, he will drive a 1927, open-top Rolls-Royce on the freeway, and he will lean out of his car during a race. He's also a gearhead like no one else, and he really loves and respects the engine and smells of grease and fun.
See how lucky we are?
You made the right choice, baby! Oh, made the right choice, baby!
That guy lives life to the fullest, for sure. His character is just outrageously fun.
He had a huge Bluetooth speaker and just was jamming out, and you could see everybody picks up the rhythm. It's like, oh, all right. And I know he's doing it to get himself ready, but that energy is infectious.
I feel like Nick Cage right now. I approach it like an audience member, going what do I want to see? And that's the thing that gets me excited is I want to play something that people are like, whoa, I like him. It goes to him, guns on her, he sees the red dot. Yeah. I'm like, got your ass.
You want to love your antagonist. I mean, for me, the best villains, the best antagonists are the ones you fall in love with.
Be good.
It's gonna be like nothing you've ever seen before.
Fancy jacket, expensive earrings. Those have to hurt. They really brought out the big guns, huh?
Every time somebody new comes into our franchise, it blows my mind that we get to work with such incredible actors.
When I saw the roster of new characters coming to the franchise, you get excited because you can already understand that these people have a phenomenal energy when you see them in other projects.
Sometimes I scratch my head, but it's a testament to how far we've come. We are able to attract these powerhouse actors and actresses and these talents from all over the world.
We have Jason Momoa, Brie Larson, Alan Ritchson, Daniela Melchior. We have Rita Moreno.
Hey, you bandidos! I am starving! Come on!
The movie starts with the barbecue. It starts with the family happy. Dom is with his family and they're together, all together. Abuelita comes and we see the generations of the Toretto around this one table.
That's a cut.
You are fabulous! You are fabulous people! I am now a Toretto.
You are now a Toretto. Most people on the planet would say that the architect of any family that's the most instrumental for its existence is a grandmother.
To be a part of this franchise, Fast and Furious, is the last thing in the world that I ever expected. It is so thrilling. It is so amazing to turn and they say, oh my God, that's Ludacris. Holy, well, I won't say the word. It's astonishing. They are fun, they're wonderful people, they're terrific actors, but more important is that they represent, in a very important way, the world. I have to lay it at the hands of Vin, who this means a great deal to. And to be thought of as his grandma, abuelita, in this is beyond words. I don't know how to express it, but here I am at 90. Who would have thunk?
We were in line to sort of quiz her on her career and her experiences, and she was so game, which was incredible.
I love this woman. She is grace. She makes every room better the moment she walks in.
You look great. I love your look, Mom.
Hey, great.
She's also the first grandmother we've had in Fast and the Furious, so she continues to be the first to do everything. And what a lucky man I am to have had at least 50 hugs. And whenever she would do a scene, you say, cut, and you got the behind-the-scene footage, I would walk up and I would go, that was so great. She was like, oh, my baby. And I'd be like, ah, I've wanted nothing more than a grandmother to touch my face like that and say, you're doing so well, babe.
Then we start eating. Then, we can do some cutaways. It was hard because we only had 4 Academy Award winners in this movie. It's incredible. I had myself up in the morning looking in my mirror. I was like, okay, you're directing Fast and Furious. Today's Charlize Theron. Tomorrow it's Rita Moreno. Then you have Brie Larson.
Brie's such a wonderful talent, and the film is better because of it. Nothing's impossible. You just have to have a little faith.
Oh my God, that was too iconic. I'm sorry, I did not know that you were gonna do that. Oh my God, it's a fan. I put it on the floor. No, you didn't just do that. Okay, yeah.
Oh goodness, how did I come to be a part of this? I feel like it's a lot of synchronicity. And by synchronicity, meaning I begged. I could have never imagined it would be the ending of this incredible saga with this family that I've grown up watching. It's beyond my expectations to be here. Because I mean, if you're asking me what I thought when they told me I got the job, I was screaming through my house. But if you want to know what my actual process was, that's different. You boys look like you could use a drink. How about a round on me? In thinking about Mr. Nobody, I started realizing that he comes in and he saves the day many times. What is he doing in all of those gaps when you're not seeing him? And perhaps he's been with me this whole time.
Will you please get off my car?
Brie came to this franchise with nothing but love, and she came to have fun.
Ready and action.
Honestly, I don't know what to call you. Little Miss Nobody?
Alan came to play as well. Alan was there every day, working so hard, being the best friend that we all needed, and coming from unit to unit, working on weekends, and just being absolutely incredible. His character was complex because like Fast and Furious, it's never black or white, it's always shades of gray.
Okay, here we go.
Ames is disarmingly unflappable. He's got that down-home charm, while duplicitous under the surface that we get a sense of pretty quickly. He explores the duality of man. You don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. Get word to every snitch, smuggler, hitter, and hacker we've ever used. Money talks, and so will they.
It's the wall that Dom is heading towards, and literally and figuratively. I mean, Alan Ritchson is a massive person. So the idea of having these two colliding trains heading towards each other, about to collide, is actually another antagonist that I got to play with.
You racing or what?
Danielle, we both transitioned into the Fast universe, and I'm so very happy for her.
Isabel comes in unexpectedly. The Racer X, the one that wins all the races, comes out of this yellow Datsun, and she's incredible, and she's full of life, and everybody admires her.
Hey, cameraman.
I've been discovering Isabel a little bit every day. She's tough, but at the same time, she's more vulnerable than she thinks. She's broken. She has this need of putting the blame somewhere.
She was the good sister. Why the good one and not me?
It's interesting with these characters because you feel it. You feel it when they walk on set. There's an energy that creates, that shifts, and we want to give our best because we know that these actors are giving us their best, and that's very, very impressive.
Okay, second team. This is for your trailer.
The first thing that I could tell about Louis was that he was a true fan of the franchise. I can tell that the franchise had a personal impact in his life. And it was obvious that it was more than a job for him. It was so obvious that he wanted to honor the mythology.
And everybody recognizes the Charger. Dom is a legend. 10 years ago, he came and changed Rio forever. Okay, so I was directing my first movie. I was 26 years old. A friend of mine was with me, and it was a movie. There were cars, there were fights, and this amazing movie coming from America called The Fast and Furious was coming out. After a day of maybe rehearsing or shooting, actually, we went to the Champs-Élysées, the two of us, and we watched this movie, and it just blew our mind up. It was just like the best thing we've ever seen. I turned to my friend and I said, we have to do something like this. This is the bar that we have to jump over. And my friend turned to me and said, yes. And his name is Jason Statham, and that was the transporter. And we just, you know, it just has defined our life and our career since the very beginning.
Maybe Dom can be.
Louis was wonderful. I mean, God, he started off by like giving everyone his number, which I was like, dude, you have no idea what you just did because we're all gonna come at you strong. And we did.
I don't know how many hours of sleep this guy gets, but he comes to work every day like he's got a full 8-9 hours. And from what I understand, he probably averages about 2 hours a week. So for him to work Monday through Saturday, by the way, Sunday is the only day off, and he doesn't even take a day off on Sunday. He's editing on Sunday. This guy is a machine. This isn't a human being.
This, too, is Fast and Furious.
We work all day, and then we let the whole crew go home. And then every day after work, Louis and I would work for 2 more hours, fine-tuning and prepping for the next day or week or month. It was a needed process to take all of the Fast and Furious experience and marry it with his enthusiasm. And it was an incredibly enjoyable process.
Good.
I thought I would never be able to bring my tone. I grew up in Europe, in France. I traveled the world, studied in New York, came to LA. I'm influenced by tons of things. It's very clear in my cinema and, you know, in the TV shows I make. So I thought that although I love Fast and Furious, I didn't want to do just a homage of a Fast and Furious movie. I wanted to make my Fast and Furious movie, which would be the ultimate Fast and Furious movie. I like having fun when I direct. I like the audience to have fun. I like the actors to have fun while this is happening. It is true entertainment on a massive canvas.
2 grenades exploded, taking out SUVs, and now they're chasing a truck that has Tej and Ramsey inside, locked inside. You know.
Some of the best directors I've worked with are writers themselves. They come up with their own ideas and they have their own take on it and effortlessly guide things towards this better idea, you know, improvements. He's never just like, tomorrow we're shooting scene 34. You know, like he is improving this, and if there's an idea worth shooting, we're gonna shoot it.
All right, let's shoot it.
He doesn't waste anybody's time. Just knows what he wants, gets to it. still leaves enough room for you to play.
And then keep going until the light.
Obviously, it's one thing to be brought in as a talented director. What helped is Louis was already being a fan. Sure as heck gave it that extra passion that you might not have gotten from somebody that just brought his talent alone into this.
So you can see over your left shoulder.
Louis came with the enthusiasm of a child, with the love for the franchise, with the respect for the franchise, and he just came in with his smile. And he came in with this love and enthusiasm. You know, that giddiness of being able to see the potential in something.
Kindness is his superpower. He's a sweet soul and a generous soul.
The concept of family is as powerful on screen as it is off screen. They welcome you as a director, a newcomer, just like a family. The movie is a collaboration. I'm not a sculptor, I'm not a painter, I'm a director. I need an entire crew, an entire cast, screenwriters, producers, an entire studio to make the best movie possible. And I felt like that happened.
Yeah, on my day job.
Yeah, Louis!
From shooting the first movie in Los Angeles to now having basically shot everywhere in the world and on Fast 10, from London to Rome to Turin to Portugal to LA, it's like we've gone completely full circle.
One of the things that Vin threw down was, I want this Fast to go to different continents. We are a global franchise, and I want to make sure that we're walking the talk.
Great.
Buongiorno, Roma! All right. Rome brought scale and history to the franchise. Having this chase in those tiny streets and these massive explosions, it was the playground that the Fast and Furious franchise was needing. I mean, the Seven Hills of Rome, as we know them very well, create a giant playground for Dante and his rolling bomb. Also, Rome, at the bottom of the hill, there's the Vatican, and it's heading towards the Vatican. We know how important Dom's faith is to him. Pick Dom and make him responsible for blowing up the Vatican is the greatest insult.
I've shot all over the world, and coming to Rome and shooting there was a huge challenge. There's so many ancient ruins, the streets, everything you just really didn't want to touch or hurt. So it made it really challenging for us because this bomb rolling through, destroying cars and trucks and everything. One of the locations were the Spanish Steps. I was like, they're not gonna even let us close this down, and sure enough, they let us shut it down.
And that's the beauty of Fast. You gotta come up with ideas that are different. Effects. Came up with some different ways of making the bomb that we could actually use around people. An overhead headline, an axle through the center of the bomb so you can control it, and a push and pull and all this other stuff. One on the front or the back of a vehicle so you could drive it down the road. We tested the first one, it was 1.2 tons. Steel ball. Tested great, went through a breakaway wall, looked really nice. The steel one's great for a lot of things, but I can't have it going down a narrow road in this 1.2 ton steel ball around people. So I said, you need to build me a lightweight one that's got a rubber coating on it. I think it was like 400 pounds, 500 pounds. You could hit it with your fist and it would sink in about that deep. It's not lethal like that steel one would be, but it did not crush cars. And then we had to have a ball that's on fire. Today we're filming a section of the chase where 8-foot burning bomb comes blowing through the staircase up there, rolling down here, and Dom is doing everything he can to stop it. And he's got his charger is coming down the stairs backwards. There's a big 180, and he's ripping down these stairs. We've got a little gag here where Dom saves one of the people with 2 dogs.
The heart and soul of the Fast and Furious franchise, boots on the ground, on location,
Oh, that's sick, dude. Oh, what a fucking badass, yo.
You're ripping past the Vatican, or you're shutting down the Spanish Steps, and then ripping past it, and there's like kids screaming. I'm like, what am I doing right now? This is crazy. I'll remember it forever.
Luckily, we all escaped Rome unscathed, and it was great.
Let's turn over all other cameras.
Yeah, man, we're out here in this rock quarry in the middle of Portugal. It's hot, it's like 100 degrees, but good spirits, good crew, and we're doing some rad stuff.
The whole idea with the third act is that Jacob and Little B, they're hidden in an enormous cavernous rock quarry, and Dante attacks this rock quarry with everything he has. We had 35 cars coming at them from all different sides. It was an enormous scout to find a rock quarry that could do the massive amount of stunts that we had to do there.
So I nicknamed this car the Hell Camino. It's basically this exoskeleton metal structure with all these cannons on it that we're firing at these two minis in this scene that we're about to do. This is a super precision piece just because they're getting towed in from an effects rig at 40 miles an hour. So I have to match their speed and then not go past my mark.
We've got all this rock coming down and crushing cars, and we did it all for real because they said, you can have anything you want, you can do anything you want. We're gonna shut the place down for you because you're fast and furious, and we just had a field day with it. Onto the freeway, all the bad guys are attacking Jacob, and we're destroying cars and knocking cars all over the place. And Dom does what Dom does best, and he drops this car out backwards and almost 100 feet through the air and crushes those cars. We've got cars flipping everywhere, and the freeway is a complete massacre.
I'm out of this race. It has to be you. Hey, Dom! Got a little surprise for you.
Jacob makes the ultimate sacrifice, which blows the car up in the air. It's a huge explosion. We've got cars flipping in the air. We did it all for real. It's one of those types of shots that's 1 in a million to get because we knew the timing was really specific and it worked flawlessly.
The fight between Letty and Cypher is a battle royale.
I think we went to the root of the characters, who they truly are, and that they truly interact. We went with practical effects.
So everything you see in the film has been done for real, fight-wise. There is no cheat.
Letty's pretty angry in this scene.
It is hard finding good help these days.
Charlize, we wanted to combine the fact she was super smart and also super agile.
I was thoroughly excited when it was like, get your ass out of a building, fighting 12 of your guards who you have trained. That was an amazing challenge.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yep. I love the fight work. Yeah, I feel like I'm not earning my paycheck until there's a fist fight happening on set somewhere. I try and get in a fist fight on every show I'm on.
Good. Got it ahead. Reviewing. All right, here we go.
When Mia and Little B are in trouble, when the agency comes into the house and tries to capture them, somebody bursts into the door to save Little B, and that's Uncle Jacob. And he starts fighting.
We throw a guy out a window, and I remember John making certain adjustments to it and telling the stunt coordinator, you know, I really think we should do it this way, and this is gonna look hokey, but this won't.
We're all on the same page, and nobody's rushing that fight.
Okay.
I just felt really bad for the stuntman because he was just going through glass like over and over and over again.
Don't do the same at home, okay?
Yeah. Even though we're gonna try this in a home. Patrick and Olivier put together this fight, and they wanted to know, is it okay if we use your signature maneuver, the attitude adjustment? It's almost like a fireman's carry. We're gonna pick up someone like a sack and then just flip them over your head. and they thought it would be a cool homage. And the way they constructed it is the person would then go through the floor, and that would kind of be my way to get down to Mia waiting below. And now the John Cena attitude adjustment is immortalized in the global phenomenon that is Fast.
And 3, 2, 1, action.
So myself is Tej because I'm always behind the computer screen and the technologically advanced individual. I'm so happy when I'm able to get some action.
What are we talking about? Yeah, baby. Yeah.
We knew from the script that we had a fight.
Gotcha. But I'm doing this. Boom. And come in.
So I don't know why Vin was on set this day, but he walked on the set after watching the fight scene, and he had his arms crossed, you know, and I'm like, oh shit, we really in trouble.
You know what I mean? This is like the little office.
What he ended up saying was, the fight you guys had was beautiful, but how do we come out of it and not have this tension and friction and this moment to carry us through the rest of the movie? Man, Ludacris looked at each other and was like, huh. He gave us a chance to discover. That was a big bro moment.
What the hell was that? It's like a ghetto magician.
Shooting this scene with this car, the Charger, the 69 Charger, at Dodger Stadium with downtown LA and the sun setting in the background is just a dream come true. It is truly, as a fan and as a director of Fast X, it's something that I've been waiting this entire time.
Find the line, feel the car, and let it fly.
I think Fast does a really good job of keeping the car as an extension of oneself. The Charger with the supercharger or blower motor is such a direct reflection of Dom, and even gold Lamborghini that Roman drives.
It's time to shine!
The cars have to work together. You know, if it's a battle, typically you want the cars to be evenly matched between our hero and our villain.
I win, baby!
Motorcycles are a big part of this one as well, which is great. The Honda that she rides in Act 1 is a little retro, a little 70s looking. Alex King came up with some great concepts. This has a unique look that you don't see, and I think it really fit her character well.
In Rome, I mean, it's sexy, for sure.
We're not building big trucks on Fast 10 until they wanted to build this big truck. The specific role which was unique for this truck was the payload, which is an enormous cylindrical bomb. So I think it's about 14 foot high, 32 foot long. Not as big as the mother trucker that we built for Fast 9. That's undoubtedly the biggest thing I've built. And it needed to be small-ish, otherwise you'd never get it around the streets of Rome.
That was awesome!
Dennis built and supplied the BMWs, and then we did the Defenders and Toyota FJs that I thought looked new, hadn't seen them, they're off-road, I thought they'd be great for the quarry, and being British, I couldn't resist offering up the Mini Countryman as a nod to the Mini. They were quite cool, and lots got blown up, demolished, crushed, destroyed.
You made one mistake. You never took my car.
It was important for us to create shots that hadn't been seen since Fast 1. I created our version of the iconic travel through the engine. The visual effects are so much greater and so much better. We scan the entire engine and we see what NOS really does. It's fantastic. You pinch yourself every day on Fast and Furious. There's no day that's like, it's a normal movie day.
We've done a lot of daring things in this franchise. And if there was ever a moment to be this daring, we hope that we've earned it after 23 years. To truly tell a finale, we needed more than just the length of one movie. We knew that it would call for our film to be broken into multiple pieces.
You're exactly where I wanted you to be.
When you end a movie with a cliffhanger of that magnitude, You only do that when you believe that your audience believes in you. You only attempt that when you know that you've earned the trust of your audience.
These cars, they are the superhero costumes to our characters. Each car represents icons. We push them to the limit, literally the limit. What Dennis McCarthy and his team brought to the franchise is true power. They soup them up, prepare them so they can do what we want to do.
The word that just comes to mind is bigger. Every one, we just increase the card count, we increase the action, the number of guys, the number of parts, the number of everything.
It's a lot of hard work. As you know, we make these movies with our hearts and our souls. But to have the opportunity to be passionate about something is the gift in life.
There's something dangerous, there's something mighty about these cars. We have to get it right.
We've done a lot of different variations of the Charger. So this time around, just the way the script read, I just felt we should kind of come back and we should reel it back a little bit, get into something that looked a little closer to where it all started. I feel that the car behind me at this moment is part of the franchise that you can never leave out. I really look at it as another cast member.
When I think of that iconic car, I think of that moment from the first film in the Toretto garage, and I'm talking about a vehicle as a living, breathing entity.
So what's your best time?
I've never driven her.
Why not?
It scares the shit out of me. Which is why we've casted cars like other films would cast actors.
The Rome Charger is an awesome car too, so that's a brand new Hellcat Charger, wide body. There's just really no way to improve on them. I mean, they're really just kind of perfect as is. So we just did some really minor things. Once again, a Whippled supercharger just kind of protruding through the hood, but very subtle. Kind of looks like the old shaker hood.
Everybody stay clear.
Oh, this one? Somebody just turned them on. I actually thought something blew up. Thunder comes out of this car.
For more than 2 decades, that car has a place in this mythology. It speaks to how generational this saga is.
This is a 1970, old school Fast One style. Autometer gauges, gray bezel, black face, red needles. Really designed just to burn rubber, do donuts, and just have a good time. The right gear, the right differential, the right tires. Just an excessive amount of horsepower. We have our standard LS Turbo 400, providing power to a Ford 9-inch rear end. The chassis on this, we took it to another level where a lot of Detroit speed, kind of a spec'd out rack with much more travel than normal. Stunt drivers love to have maximum steering angle. So we basically match it out to the point where we're really limited by tire colliding with the frame. And of course, we had to put a nitrous unit in it, you know, just in case.
My turn. That car set this world apart from any other movie. It was, in many ways, the heartbeat of this whole franchise.
There's a history for Roman with his car choices.
And they'll be like, what you want to drive in the next one, man? I don't know, man. Just something crazy that's gonna really stand out. A gold Lamborghini or something, you know? And I got to London and literally was like, holy shit.
It looked crazy, but you understand why he wanted that car. You don't often see a gold Lamborghini. It wasn't easy to hide. When you're filming in Rome, you're trying to keep everything out of the lens of the paps. That's not easy.
Yeah, the Lambo's pure Roman. The mirrored finish in this one is hilarious.
It had to be a vinyl wrap. We had to put a protective layer over the top because if you just wipe that, you leave swirls on the wrap, so we had to put a protective film on. It looked incredible.
What this old girl lacks in horsepower, she makes up for it in agility.
I would say the GTV was one of the most exciting builds. It was stripping it right back, working out what powertrain would be best, what would fit, what would the performance be, would it be enough, too much?
So you use electric pumps.
So this is a 74 Alfa Romeo GTV. It is an Italian car. I would say it's the grandfather of sports cars. The engine wasn't much, it was a 4-cylinder. Twin cam, it came in the 2.0 option, but it was agile. It was an attainable sports car. It still is today.
There was zero discussion about it. It was like just confirmation we are going with the ham orange.
It's a classic piece of art. And if you walk around the car, they don't make cars like this anymore.
That was like the first thing I said. I was like, I'll be in if I can ride a motorcycle. And they're like, great, we got you a Ducati and a Triumph. I'm like, I'm just a larger human being and I need something. And I enjoy Harleys.
These colors don't run, baby. No, they don't. When we were in first talks, I was very curious. I was like, what bike are we gonna use? Because I haven't seen that many Harleys and some of the amazing stunts that all the stunt riders do. Bravo! And then we thought about the Pan American, which is an adventure touring bike.
What we have right here is a 2022 Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250. What's nice about these bikes is they're pretty amazing. You know, I'll say right out of the crate because they showed up to us in a crate. But, you know, off the dealer floor, these things are good to go. They're a bike that's basically, you know, in that adventure class, so very multi-purpose, you know. You can cruise down the freeway, you can go run down a dirt road, you can go up in the hills. It'll pretty much do anything, go anywhere, and it has a ton of horsepower. It's basically a 76 cubic inch motor. From the factory, they make about 150 horsepower. In our case, with our Fast and Furious modifications, we've done exhaust, we had to do some computer programming. We've lost some emissions devices, mostly for aesthetics. Obviously the number plate, we lost a headlight, we lost the readout. I mean, we've basically stripped this bike to the bare minimum. And it's really just part of going for that look and maybe making the bike a little more nimble. It probably shed a few pounds in the process.
They just went in like scientists and like unchambered a bunch of stuff, and this thing is so fast. It's like one of the fastest bikes I've been on, and it's loud.
So what made this build so much fun was Jason Momoa.
All right.
He's a huge motorcycle enthusiast. It's a bike I feel is perfect for him.
Oh my God!
Yo, it's not that one. It's this one.
Jacob's Mustang was just basically brought back, which I love. You know, if you can bring a car back or bridge a car from one film to the next, which is hard to do because more than not, we destroy everything. So it was cool to bring it back. It was the first new car I ever bought when I was in my early 20s.
And just so you know, in the 90s, if you were rolling in a 5.0, meant you were the man.
I bought a 1993 LX Mustang. So I've always had, you know, a soft spot for those ones.
Cars are truly a vehicle for conversation, just like art or music or food. This tastes good. Wow, did you hear this song? And someone could think that it tastes bad or that the song sucks. Cars are the same.
Did I know you drive this thing?
You should. I raced him in it. It was a great transition into what we have today, and Jacob gets to be into that debate.
It was supposed to be something that was kind of embarrassing, but in reality, it is a pretty cool car. When you see it in a film, there's a roof rack, there's a canoe on the top, so that does take away from the cool factor a little bit, which, you know, adds to the comedy.
Are you gonna tell me where we're going?
Place of mine your dad knows. Fast has never been short on vehicle mods. That project I've been working on, you wouldn't be interested. I have a 66 El Camino that looks like it's straight out of Mad Max. We gotta go.
The Cannon truck, as it's referred to, is basically an El Camino. It's a big block, 4-speed car. It's the Cannon El Camino that really saves the day. I mean, the shells are, I don't know, 7-8 inches in diameter. Just kind of a hot rod primer black, just very basic. We put some very cool weld wheels on it, beadlocked rear, kind of a drag feel. Those cars are tough, they're bulletproof. You know, it's a full frame car. You can put it through anything and it'll come out the other side. I can't say it actually survived, but it does its part. With Jason, he was very specific about the car, colors, and we wanted a big car. And we're always trying to mix it up a little bit. Something cool was the Ford Fairlane.
My God, the Fast team, McCarthy's insane. I just kind of go like, I love this color and I love this pastel. I want my character to be like a peacock. Here we go! He does some pretty crazy stuff with it.
The size is right, the look is right, and I think it's a pretty evil looking car. You know, just the way the headlights are laid out. The whole grille kind of rakes forward on the car. We added in kind of like a drag car style or Bonneville style rear wing on the car. The other thing that kind of made the car very sinister is that dark red color, which Jason was so specific about, the color on that car as well. I mean, literally, as we're spraying the paint booth, we're, you know, FaceTiming and sending a video.
Let's go see.
It's not a mainstream muscle car, which is what I like about it as well.
I think that's the great thing about film. And the best of the best you get to work with these car guys who just know everything, and you put out an idea and then he takes it to the next level.
I took your money, I took your freedom, and I'm gonna take your family.
You made one mistake. You never took my car.
There was a lot of physical narrative this time around I got really excited about.
Before you bleed out on my couch, you might want to explain why you're here. To see everybody training so hard with our stunt department, how important it was for them to deliver. They made the whole franchise proud.
It is hard finding good help these days.
Yeah, that's nice.
Charlize, she's a rocket. She goes from 0 to 200 in an instant.
We never see Cypher fighting in the franchise yet.
I was thoroughly excited when it was like, get your ass out of a building, fighting 12 of your guards who you have trained. That was an amazing challenge.
We wanted to combine the fact she was super smart and also super agile. You think that she will stay behind her computer. We want to surprise the audience.
Then I shoot the hips up to get it straight. Okay, let's do it.
She has a hero moment doing a spectacular spin in the air, and she's done it by her own.
I worked on that move with the team here for a couple of days, and so when I got on set and they were like, no, insurance, and which I totally respect as well, but I was like, yeah, but I know I can do this. I find it disrespectful when women are in fight scenes and we're not given the same consequences. At its core, it's violent. We have to be responsible in showing the consequences of something like that. And it's not always pretty, and you can't have lip gloss on. It's just not realistic.
Go! Go! Dom's called out for an emergency. Mia comes in to watch Little B. We're infiltrated.
And then the two of them, brother and sister, Mia and Jacob, are going to defeat Agency Man armed to the teeth.
And there's something about Mama Bear energy that I think is much more primal.
The reference I gave to Rui was like a lion protecting his child, you know, his baby. She's gonna do everything she can.
I think we had like 5 days before the scene to prep.
Don't do the same at home, okay?
We basically had a gym mat, and we recreated the Toretto house because it wasn't built yet with basically a bunch of gym equipment. We would just do it like a dance.
One. Yes, perfect.
And then when we got on set, it was like all bets were off, and I didn't wear as much padding as I thought I would, and the helmets run. I was like, oh my God, I didn't think about the helmets, and how's that gonna feel? And I think the trickiest thing as an actor is to not anticipate, to not like flinch at all.
I really love being in the thick of the action with Jordana. It's good to see her be able to have a lot of stunt work.
It was awesome.
I'm looking for someone.
Brie Larson, Brie came into this franchise with love. She came in to play, to have fun, to create a new character.
You boys look like you could use a drink. How about a round on me?
It's not supposed to be a fight at the beginning. It's supposed to be just a kind of confrontation with one guy, you know. And Louis said, you know what? You should expand that. Give her something more to do.
The stunt team didn't know that I had picked out these giant boots. And I was like, well, let's just use them. Let's utilize what we've got. So we made sure that we did things like, you know, kicks and things to really highlight all of that.
I was kind of a bit worried because we didn't have much time with Brie on prep. And when we rehearsed, she's doing like half of the move. But she has some skills that I didn't expect. When we did the first takes, I thought, wow, did we put the stunt double? No. And I watched and said, no, it's Brie. She learned really quick. She's really nice to work with because she always asking what I can do more, what I can improve. Can we do it one more time, you know?
She holds her own. And then ultimately, it leads me to sitting with Dom and having, you know, a very surreal, for me, conversation.
She killed my husband's baby mother.
At the end of it.
So that pretty much sums it up.
We have to bring that.
Good morning, sunshine.
That was a scene when I read it. I could not wait to see that as a moviegoer. It was like an out-of-body experience.
Seems like you got this covered. What do you need me for?
I have a plan, but it's a two-person job. And I was just like, I can't wait to see Letty. And I was like, oh, that's me. She's kicking my ass. This is amazing.
How much time do we have?
Say about 4 minutes.
When you see Michelle strike the first time, it's an explosion because it's so many years of anger.
It'll have to do. And it's a lot of kicking, a lot of punching, a lot of flying, a lot of getting slammed against walls. It's interesting to see the two fighting styles go at it together.
We talked a little bit about that and wanting to figure out how to kind of differentiate how we would go about trying to get what we wanted to get in the scene, and so that stuff is always fun.
Charlize Theron is very technical.
Michelle was pretty clear on it. She was like, I'm scrappy. Letty is scrappy. And I was like, I love it.
I gotta go. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, okay.
Letty, she's like a crazy cat. She's really instinctive. It's from the guts. Cypher, it's kind of cold and like a machine, a chess player.
I'd stay down if I was you.
You gotta hit me harder for that.
We've not been able to do it just on doubles and just the actresses standing up and pretending this. They can stay in character, act, give you some amazing lines, give you some jokes.
What Michelle Rodriguez does, the way she sells action, you just believe it. She sold it with her body, with her eyes, with the heart.
Charlize, she's a monster to battle with, I gotta say. She's a tough cookie.
Both are goddesses of physical fighting.
That, for me, was so exciting, to fight with another woman who I really look up to.
Boom! I got this.
No, we got this.
Camera speeding.
3, 2, 1, action!
One of the things that we take pride in the franchise is allowing artists to explore their characters in unique ways.
That was awesome!
And the way that Jason Momoa portrays this character, Dante Reyes, really plays nicely into the mythology.
I hadn't played a villain in probably 10 years, and I really wanted to bring something fun. I wanted to bring something that could face off against Tom and his family, and he loves the fight, and he loves the chase.
Can't wait to see you get out of this one.
It's really cool to see Momoa come on board. I think he just adds this wonderful element of revenge with a smirk that I think is gonna be tasty. Not too bad to look at. That's why I said tasty.
It's a dream come true. I mean, being able to work in Rome and then to be on motorcycles and then ride the streets of Rome, it's definitely bucket list for sure.
And Eddie, papaculo!
The guy was amazing and he did all of his stunts. He's an amazing rider. He's an amazing stuntman. He can fight, he can jump. It's like it's a traveling circus. I love it.
Bravo!
I got a phone call saying, listen, we want you to actually shoot Jason. He loves riding motorcycles. He shows up, he gets on a bike, and he just blows us away. He loves it. He's natural on a motorcycle. Even these skinny streets, narrow streets, and all this stuff.
Look at this. It's off a slid. I went far. I've never done a film with the Russian arm and doing all these different camera setups.
We're ready to show you. And you look up and you see this light. Like pick the drain pipe. The drain pipe hits the light, drops behind you. Look back, it does this really cool gag.
And doing my own stunts, it was wonderful to be able to do that because that's a first. And that's the thing I love about it, because you're just like, boom, you're in the moment. You have to be super sharp when you're done. I'm like, whew.
It's one thing to know what you're doing and be excited, but he's a professional and he did it right. We shot 4 times as much footage because he was not only the professional, fun to work with, but as talented as he is on the bike. So, thank you, Jason, for that.
Stunts, I love you.
You're ripping past the Vatican, or you're shutting down the Spanish Steps, and then ripping past it, and there's like kids screaming. I'm like, what am I doing right now? This is crazy. And I'll remember it forever. It's a wonderful experience.
Here we go, that's a wrap.
You drifting yet?
It was so cool, Mom.
Dom has so much responsibility on his shoulder. Not only the family he created, his family of heart, but his blood family. And he has this son, and little B needs to be taught the normal rules of life, but a bit more.
You will be better than me. Dom Toretto lives in a world that sometimes feels relatable, but the undercurrent of that world is not. His approach to fatherhood has to account for the world that he's been brought into, most often to save the world that he never promised to save. Find a line,
Feel the car and let it fly.
Little B's a boy who cares a lot about his family, loves the cars, and likes to be happy.
Dom teaches him to drive, just like his father did, but he teaches him to drive in a slightly different way.
Great-grandma just flew in, and she's making her famous medulas.
We gotta get to those before Uncle Roman does. We did the barbecue scene, and we met everybody. It was, like, so cool and so fun.
Leo, what a gorgeous, sweet, intelligent child this is. When my scene was over, he came over to me and said, I just want you to know that I really enjoyed meeting you and I will miss you and thank you so much for the dance that we did.
It was so fun working with Rita. She is the best. Like, if I had to work with one person for the rest of my life, it would be Rita.
Tu familia.
Oh my God.
No, it's not that one. It's this one.
Jacob and Little B get a lot of time together. Awesome, dude. Jacob quickly becomes a cool uncle and embraces that 100% and isn't afraid to make a fool of himself.
Little B's bringing it back. It's a boomerang. Ah.
He's like the uncle that is like the funny uncle and then the serious uncle.
Feeling better?
Me too.
I'm real proud of you, son.
For safety, we don't put the child actor in the midst of the action. So we had the car on this rotating platform. It's like being on this roller coaster all day long.
I do like action movies. It's like the best of best.
He loved it. He wanted more. He was like, we were doing, underwater stuff, and he was like the first one to get into it. Like he wanted more action.
So, Leo, what's it like playing the youngest Toretto?
It's really fun.
Do you feel like you learned a lot about cars?
Definitely. Ah! I fixed it!
We're running and 3, 2, 1.
We're going back to the roots of Fast and Furious. It's gearheads, it's engine, it's all that stuff.
Get in here, get in here. We never really anticipated that we would end up taking this franchise all over the world, inspiring young tuners and taking the theme of family all around the world.
There's nothing like seeing Toretto, roll up to the line of a Charger. I mean, that's just what kind of makes these movies.
Ooh, back on black look good.
It was different than any other tuner race that you'll ever see.
None of this happens without you. Welcome home.
I'm a fan of the franchise, grew up in the car culture, and to be a part of the cinematic history is epic.
Let's race!
You guys are amazing. It was a party on screen and off screen. It was insane.
We wanted an eclectic mix, so it's anyone with a car that's been modified or upgraded or customized, then, that's what we seek to find. I mean, they're all really colourful, apart from obviously the Dodge, which is, it's Dom's Dodge.
We're all there partying, in between moments, having barbecues. Vin brought his songs, taught the extras how to dance his dance.
You were born for this! DJ Divine over here has been keeping the extras feeling engaged and on point. Every person that you see in this scene came to really deliver, really bring something to the table and make magic.
We had always done two cars side-by-side racing for pink slips. And we knew that in this, we wanted to add more cars, and we wanted to make it kind of a race where the cars aren't just racing for speed.
Dom is really racing for his family, racing to save someone. And we created that scene in Rio.
Word on the street is a lot of people looking for you two.
Back in Fast 5, Diago, Brazilian car racer who had the blue 911 GT3 that I lost because of egos and thinking you can beat Dominic Toretto. And when I got the phone call, my agent was like, yeah, so I think they're gonna bring your character back. And I'm like, okay, do you think or you're sure? It was literally a dream come true.
I'm beating you, baby! One of the stars in this chapter is Isabel. And her character is one of the first characters in a long time to be introduced through the racing scene.
She's very passionate about racing. Because my character is from Brazil, I think I'll be even cooler than the guys. So I'm very excited about it.
We hadn't seen a driving bad guy for a long time. Dante, he's the opposite of Dom.
If you win, you take me in. If you lose, don't lose. And you roll up on set and you see all the cars, and I get 2 cars. And then you see Dom's car, and you're like, holy shit, it's the Charger.
Everybody out of the way. Sir, you mind? I mean, come on.
Yeah, definitely. You will not be able to get in and out.
Deal! Yeah!
I'd done chases, but I'd never done a race. So I was like, how do you make it different? We are creating equipment for that and making cameras smaller and smaller and smaller. We have to rehearse, the actors have to know. It's a dance between the camera and the actor because they have to move out of the way, and the camera was like literally a centimeter away from their nose. You know, it was quite scary, but we did 2-3 takes, they were perfect, and we love it.
Finally!
Everybody started pitching ideas, and then it came up to, well, what if Dante put bombs under all of the cars, and he wants to explode certain cars so that he knows he can win. The one that Isabel was driving was a 240Z that had a big engine in it. Most of the time we were doing between 90 and 100 down there. You know, it's a very short race to get to the end, but all the cars are very fast.
As a fan, I'd love to see Dom behind the wheel, reminding us that, you know, keep your hand on the wheel, literally and figuratively. The communion between man and machine in that scene was incredible. Hi, I'm Leterrier, the director of Outtakes. Welcome to Fast Breaks, where we're going to break down some of our greatest action set pieces. I think I'm a filmmaker thanks to bonus features. I mean, to be a fly on the wall, to understand how we do the 10th movie of this quarter-of-a-century franchise, but also keep it real, keep it practical. That's incredible to witness because it's real, but it's like magic. It's mechanical magic. Now, let's go to the ancestral city of Rome, where our movie begins. It starts with an idea. It would be great if we played soccer with cars and a giant ball. When we roll a 1-ton bomb down the streets of Rome, it's a 1-ton metal bomb that we roll. Everything is done for real. Planning it out is what actually takes a long time. We need to know exactly what we're doing. Welcome to the Spanish Steps, in the heart of the city. This is the first time the team has traveled to Rome, and this is also our first giant set piece. Now, let's take a deeper look into the making of this sequence.
So when this shot starts, Brawl is coming through this railing. Bang!
So the bomb has been released and unleashed by Dante. What the bomb is a subnautical bomb, so basically a mine with a ticking clock. And Dante on his motorcycle tries to detonate the bomb. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to bring down a 1-ton bomb and a 2-ton car down the Spanish Steps. So what we did was we recreated the steps in London. And then we comp the bomb that we rolled down in London and the car that we rolled down in London into that scene. There's no destroying the Spanish steps. Sorry.
Dom, you've done everything you could. Not everything.
Every action scene is a 3-act structure with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Ball comes off, boom, 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 and he sees them going away.
There has to be stakes, there has to be a low point for our heroes. You know, they win or they don't. Narrow escapes are a trademark for the heroes of the Fast series. Dom will finally be able to knock the bomb into the river, detonating it underwater and saving the city from destruction. Yet he's still within the blast zone, and he will have to outrun this immense shockwave. The shockwave is gigantic. And what we did, actually, we did this for real. We had 6 police cars on jumpers. And we detonated them one at a time. So you saw the shockwave, and car after car after car after car was jumping, including Doms that lifted literally on the bumper and then fell and then kept going. A regular day for Dom Toretto. Frankly, with these types of set pieces that are so big, you do one take. You put as many cameras as you can, but you plan a year, and then when I call action, it's very scary, because it better work. What would a fast movie be without a race? Filming it in Rio just felt right. Racers, start your engines. So the beauty of directing one of these movies is you get to take the elements that you love the most and then bring them into your movie. And I love the street racing. That was my first note. Let's bring it back, but let's bring really a quarter mile. But it's a race that Dom only accepts to save the people from a bloodbath because guns are drawn.
Ooh, let's race!
What really makes Dominic Toretto a hero? Well, he will never hesitate to put his life on the line to save an innocent life, especially if it's a fellow racer. In this moment, he will sacrifice the race in order to dislodge the bomb from underneath Isabel's car.
3, 2, 1,
Dante has these magnetic discs that you can throw and attach to vehicles. You can trigger them whenever you want. And Dom realizes, because he's seen it in Rome, that stopping Dante won't stop the bomb. He has to disarm the bomb. Diogo activates the NOS first, off he goes, and Dante blows him up. Wow. And Dom sees the bomb under Isabel's car. So he drives up, he's gonna push her car into the DJ car, therefore scraping the undercarriage of her car and then ripping the bomb away. The bomb explodes, knocking the car into a barrel roll. You have to surround yourself with the best crew, the best stuntmen, the best drivers. You do something that has never been shot before and capture it on film. You know, the beauty and sadness of Fast and Furious is we get to play with a lot of amazing cars, but we get to destroy them too. Just imagine being this little boy and you play with your toys and then somebody says, all right, now what you just did, you're going to do it for everyone around the world, and then you'll just film your dreams. And that's exactly what I did. So as you can tell, I've got the greatest job in the world. Thank you for joining me today. And before I go, here's my favorite thing to say on set. Cue the explosion.
Cavalry's here. We got you, Dom.
Roman, get out of here. It's a trap.
Incoming!
When you end a movie with a cliffhanger of that magnitude,
it's time for you to die.
You only do that when you believe that your audience believes in you.
No way. Still think my plan sucks?
But it was no easy task because so much has been created in this universe. And to tie up all the storylines, this character needed to come back into the mythology.
There's no Fast and Furious without an amazing tag at the end, a surprise appearance as the lawman pulls off his balaclava and his mask, and we reveal Luke Hobbs.
I stepped on set of Fast and Furious as Hobbs, the legendary lawman, saying things that only Hobbs can say.
Well, I ain't hard to find, you some bitch.
There is no version of stepping on set as Hobbs where it doesn't elicit this feeling. And one word comes to mind. How we say it in Hawaiian, ohana, how we say it in Samoan, ainga, and how we say it here in the States and really around the world, family. Hobbs is back, baby.
Will you please get off my car? That's so disrespectful.
Come off at 14 frames.
I'm shaking the coffee.
Camera's rolling.
That didn't work.
They got an army down there, Dom. Your team's not far out.
Bring us down.
I can't put her down here. There's an airfield 6 clicks west. God, I almost had it. I went for it. There's an airfield 6 clicks. I can't say the word. I can't do it that fast. There's an airfield 6 clicks west. Dom, come back.
What was it about? It was the difference between 5, 6, and 7 clicks.
Very important.
But what did it mean for our story?
Everything.
You full of shit.
And like 16 songs could be on a cassette. But you'd have to flip it over. It'd play 8 songs, and you flip it over and play 8 more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
They say when you're facing death, I forgot the line.
So you and your receipts.
Yes, I got eyes on Uncle.
Glasses.
That's what we doing? Come on, I'm right here, mother. Come on. Bring it on.
What's the first line?
Look at her. Oh no, she's in peril. You. You care what people's hair. Never accept death when suffering is owed.
What the do I say?
But I got mother.
Yeah, now who's gonna with a swear jar?
From a gas station?
From a gas station. Son of a bee sting.
What?
Where suffering is owed, never accept death as payment.
Powerful line.
I'm looking for someone. You boys look like you could use a drink. I don't have any cash.
That shot's awesome.
It's just this, you're not pulling, right?
No, I think my ass is gonna be in the way. I think it's a nice wipe.
I've missed you.
Strap up. Strap in. Strap something.
And zigzag to the left.
1 second, 1 second. We can't.
It's locking.
Ah! Bro, it's as good as it gets, bro.
You raised a hell of a son, Dom. Excuse me. I'm just nervous because I'm about to sacrifice myself. And that was the nerves exiting my body through the eye of mystery.
Hell, I even tried swiping right on that. Hell, I even tried. God, I hate that line. Hell, I even tried. What is it?
Swiping right.
Yeah. Hell, I even tried swiping right on Han's dating app.
Dom, I know what you're thinking. Nice cannons. Yeah, the whole thing's gone tits up, though. We just breast move on. Ah, man. No more boob jokes.
Am I even supposed to hold it like that? I held it like I'm playing Fortnite.
We learned it from you, just like the day you sent me to hell.
They're not as invasive. I mean, it's very invasive when you make basically a U-cut around somebody's kneecap and fold the thing over to expose the joint. Now, it's like I say, it's a few little holes. And they do the same.
Bloopers, yes!
Yes, finally.